locked up for ignorance.
That's involuntary at best.
Listen, it's the Sonic universe. Knuckles is an idiot. He's a war criminal.
I'm not well versed in war crimes, so I don't know what kind of war crimes he's done. But he's probably done war crimes.
Yeah, let me just have that meme. If Knuckles is not in the next Sonic game, not at all, not talked about, that's gonna be my thing. Knuckles is in jail for war crimes. That'll be my
hey, meme. I mean, if Yoshi can do tax evasion, Knuckles can be a war criminal.
I've just been laughing at this idea Knuckles is a war criminal. 80% of our forces are lost. Knuckles, what was your plan?
Justin, are you recording?
I'm recording.
Okay, I just assumed you said yes.
I did.
Okay.
I got that sweet Yoshi Dog on recording too, if you want to use it.
Yoshi Dog? You got a Yoshi
Nug.
Title of the show, Yoshi Nug. Let's go.
Sweet Yoshi Nug.
Jesus. I'm just going to tweet up the stream, and then we'll go.
Did you beat Link's Awakening, Justin?
That's a sore subject for me.
Oh my god!
Did I talk about that last week?
I don't think you did.
I'll bring it up.
You didn't? How have you not beaten it yet? It's a short game.
Ben, it hurts.
Leave him alone.
Okay, it's like a 6-hour game.
I'll explain it.
Okay, is it Eagle Tower? Oh, I
love Eagle Tower.
Save or something.
You love Eagle Tower? Okay, that's how I know.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let me start the show then.
Oreo cookies in my mouth.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Choice Shot Gamescast. Each every week, friends gather around, talk about the things they've been playing and things going on in their lives. Today, I have with me Justin.
Pew 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 pew.
And Ben.
Out of Worlds.
Oh look, I found a mini medal.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, I like finding these things.
I don't get
it. So my Dragon Quest peeps now because I'm part of that.
It's Dragon Quest 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet DQ Dugs.
Welcome back, Ben. We missed you.
Oh yes, my throat misses me too.
Okay.
Currently?
Yes.
That was present tense.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I'm not an actual human. I'm an autonomous robot who can remove his throat by his choice. Its choice, rather. I can't be sentient. I'm not sentient at all. No. A person with my opinions? Are you kidding me?
I never met you, and I've never seen your. Well, I've seen your face. Well, what you claim as your face.
Yeah. How do you know
we
that's
don't
really
know.
me? You never met me.
This week, let's start with Justin.
So, before I get into the games I played this week, off air, Ben asked me if I had beaten Link's Awakening yet, and it brought back very sore memories. So I'm going to explain this story on the air real quick. So a few weeks ago, I realized that I hadn't beaten Link's Awakening yet. Because I got so far, I was trying to get some recordings and stuff from it for a video I've pushed off now. And then I started streaming it, and I played, I started the hero mode run. Which was super hard, and I got up to the 3rd dungeon and quit because it was the end of the stream, not because I, quit. And so I never got back to it because of other games got in the way and stuff like that. So I finally booted it back up, and for some reason, it showed my Link file, just my first game file, but it had 3 hearts and just the wind egg. And then it had new game. And then my autosave, which was at the beginning of the 3rd dungeon on my hero run. So I booted that one up just out of curiosity, and it loaded just fine. I saved and quit, and that showed up as my second file. I saved it as a second file. So that's still there. But my actual main, first file, I went in to load that up, and it just started the intro cinematic. So, it was a named file that I had created, but it didn't have my progress on it. So somehow, the game just, sort of wiped my progress. It didn't wipe the file, it just wiped the progress on that file.
What?
And the only reason I had the hero mode file was because that was my last autosave, which it did hold on to. So I don't know what happened. It was really weird. But it kind of defeated me, and I didn't really want to play through the whole thing again. So eventually I'll beat that hero mode run, but I was kind of holding on to that for streaming, and now I can't really stream anymore because like my internet sucks and I don't know what's going on with it. And we're not going to get the basement office done anytime soon, because taking a trip to Canada and that'll cost money. But eventually I will beat the game. Ben, get off my back.
I just asked a question.
Get off my back.
Oh my god. See, this is why I play long games, so you can't ask me, are you done? I'm like, bitch, I'm in the middle of an 80-hour campaign. Leave me alone. I'm an hour 15.
I mean, Dragon Quest XI is more than 80 hours.
Probably, yeah, but I'm enjoying all 20 of it so far.
Yeah. So anyway, on to what I've been playing now that I've repressed the memories again. How dare you, Ben? I've actually played a few new things this week. I checked out Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is actually really good. Like, I hyped up the first Yooka-Laylee a little bit when I first started playing it because it starts out strong. Like, it's not a great game, but like you get that nostalgia going, and you're like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Like, plus I backed it, so I kind of wanted to justify the months of development I spent following that game. But this one I went into with low expectations, aside from like just the reviews I'd read that were saying this is what the first Yooka-Laylee should have been, blah blah blah. But I think it helps that like it's a side scroller, just like level based game. You don't have to worry about all the big exploration areas. There's not like massive amounts of collectibles or anything in each level. It's really tight, focused levels that use the same basic mechanics that Yooka-Laylee has already. Like there's kind of a roll where which one's the bat? Yuka?
Laylee, I think.
Okay, where the bat rolls, like runs on top of the rolling chameleon. They have like a ground pound that you can only do when you have both of them, because this kind of plays by Yoshi's Island rules, where if you take one hit, the bat like flies around a little bit, and like you have to grab her again to get her back. And if you don't, she leaves, and you can get her back at the next like bat bell. I wish I knew their names. I forget which one's which. I think you're right. It's Laylee.
Yuka is the lizard, or the whatever it's technically called, and Laylee, chameleon, whatever. It's a fucking reptile. And Laylee is this snobby bat.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, then there's like a Laylee bell. It's kind of like the DK barrels. I'm gonna make a lot of DK references because this is very much Donkey Kong Country skin. But it does enough new things. So like I said, you've got kind of their Yooka-Laylee abilities and stuff in there, and then also like Yuka has his tongue. So there's various points where you can like grab an explosive thing and like carry it with you, and fling it at like a explosive wall or something to break it. And like he can grab like water berry things and like spit them at enemies to kill them, and basic things like that. But for the most part, it's run, jump, platform type stuff. But it's just very tight platforming that's well done, and challenging. But the cool thing is, like, in between levels, you go to this kind of world map area. That's a top-down, like, just more open exploration area. And you kind of do little puzzles to, like, open up the next section of the map where, a few more levels. And the levels are still the books like they were in Yooka-Laylee 1. It's just each book is a level instead of being like a whole world. So there's a lot more variation in the level designs and stuff too. But whereas in the first game, like you could like expand the worlds at some point and open up a bunch of unnecessary new quests and stuff in them. And this one, it opens up kind of the next area, and you're like trapped in a little box, and it feels very much like a Mario Maker level. Because like when you jump, the enemy jumps. Like you figure out kind of just like you're trapped in this box, and that's the only thing you can do. So clearly that does something.
You're trapped in here with me.
Exactly. I understood that reference. So you're just basically timing your jumps so that the enemy gets down like across all the platforms and then basically kills himself on a buzzsaw, and then you win because you have to take out the enemies. And it's just like a really clever take on that. Some of them are just literally like you jump and hit all the enemies and then you're done. But they get more clever as you go. But anyway, the other thing you do in the overworld is you actually like change out the levels. So like for example, Yuka can grab like different elemental berries off of bushes, and so you might grab like a water berry and like spit it at a level, and it'll turn it into like a water level. Or like you might have to like a level might be a water level and you grab like an ice berry and spit it on there and it becomes an ice level. Or some of them are actual puzzle based. So like there's one point where you like the cauldron guy, like a lot of the ukulele like supporting caster in the game. Famously, Trouser has up paywalls, which is great. You have to pay him to take the wall down and get past. But you pay him in-game currency, don't worry. And so like the cauldron guy is in there and he's like, I want something sweet. And so like you go around the map and try to find like a thing of honey, and you like grab that as Yuka and take it over there and throw the honey in his cauldron. He's like, oh boy, I made this like delicious sweet nectar. And like if you slam into him, he spills the honey onto the level, and like all the platform or all the like the walls and stuff become coated in honey, and so you can like access new parts of the level that you couldn't get to before.
That's cool.
And it's just really cool stuff. It's like every level has kind of a B-side, if you think of it like Celeste. So it's like you might run through the whole level and be like, why can't I get up there? And then once you change it, it's actually a diversion where you go up there for the rest of the level instead of where you did go the last time. So there's like 2 sets of collectibles basically in each level. And they have some really clever takes on that. Like it's the kind of game that's hard to explain, because mechanically it's pretty simple. But it's just like the first time you change out a level and go back into it and it's totally new, just feels really cool. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know. I don't want to dive too deep into it because I'm not super far into it. And the first time I played it, I was just like, it was just okay. And then I started getting into some of the like the B-side levels and things like that. By the way, I meant B as in BEE because of all the B puns in the game.
Oh no.
That probably didn't come across, but
No, it didn't.
That was the joke.
Oh no, I don't want to play this game anymore. If it has B puns. Oh no.
Oh. Well. B sides. The B sides of the level.
Besides this,
B-sides.
what else have you...
My humor. The capital B, like the villain of the first game, like takes all of the like the protective bees from the queen bee, because like they would give you like armor to get through the impossible layer. So you have to go through each of these levels and like grab the captured bee out of it, and it gives you one more hit inside the layer. So technically you can beat that at any time. It's kind of like, Breath of the Wild, where like if you can make it through without getting hit, you can beat the impossible layer without doing any of the levels. Those are just to get you enough bees so that you can get through that layer. But it's extremely challenging. I was watching the completionist review of it, and like I guess one thing for the for the full completions percentage is to complete the impossible layer without taking a hit. And so he did it, but he's like, this game almost broke me. Like this was almost the first game I could not complete. It's fine. It's not like I wanted to collaborate with you. You're not one of my heroes or anything on YouTube. It's fine. But aside from that, I started. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I started up the Outer Worlds, and it's fantastic. I was super excited when Thomas told me that it went live a day early for some reason.
Yeah, I
For
was
people that
recording my
preloaded it, at least.
podcast yesterday, and I was like, my co-host was like, I somehow started up Outer Worlds. I was like, what? And I just told you, and you got a jump start on that.
Yeah. And I had it preloaded for months because as soon as it became available in Game Pass, I tried to play it. I was like, wait, it's on Game Pass? Like, already? I wonder if it works. And so, like, I got it installed and loaded it up, and it's like, you can't play this yet. Goodbye. So I was ready to go. So I jumped in, made my character. The character creation is pretty, but it is fairly limited. I wasn't terribly impressed with like the variety of characters you can make in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some cool, like you can make some cool looking people.
There's no good beers.
It's just like it's not one of those games you can make like anyone.
There's no goatees.
Yeah, the facial hair is the major hit because it was like 50 different hairstyles and then like 8 facial hairs.
Yeah, I don't
It's not
get it.
fair, right? But also like a lot of the faces look the same because like I couldn't get rid of like the lines, like you know the cheek lines, I guess is what it's called.
Mm.
And there was like just some things you really couldn't edit, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, this is a game where I'm just gonna keep a helmet on at all times.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's not a big deal. Like you know, it's always the fun of like, oh man, I'm gonna create my character. It's gonna take forever, but then you never see them. Like that's the joke. And so it's like I'm complaining about that, but then I have yet to see my character once since I made him. So like there is actually an option in the settings to toggle your helmet off. Which, I mean, it's a first-person game, so even then you'd only see him in the inventory screen.
Is there a way
But
to toggle
you can do
third
that.
person? I haven't really looked that up.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not that I've seen yet, but like the controller, like the Xbox controller button configuration is a little funky anyway. So I had a hard time like navigating the menus and stuff that way, and it just felt slow and chunky. So I switched over to mouse and keyboard, and I liked the game so much more that way.
Yeah, it plays
Like-
really well on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, because the main problem I was having was like the inventory system is so much better than Fallout or anything like that. We're probably going to spend a while talking about the Outer Worlds, by the way, because me and Thomas both played it, and it's a big game right now.
And it's a new game. Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well call this podcast like the Outer Worlds review. Also, Ben is here.
It's like the second subtitle.
Yeah, exactly. It's in parentheses. It's like the Birds of Prey title. It's like the Outer Worlds review, and Ben was there as well, silently crying in the background for Outer Worlds to come out on Switch in 2020.
That's a really long title.
Well, so is Birds of Prey.
Oh my god.
Have you seen that title?
No, I haven't. Oh wait,
It's
yes. Okay,
Birds
I
of
know what you're
Prey
talking
and
about.
the
Yeah.
like magnificent.
Emancipation of the Magnificent Harley Quinn or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I keep
Anyway.
forgetting Birds of Prey is like an actual.
It should
DC
just be
thing.
Birds of Prey. Fuck you.
It should be. But they're going hard on Harley there.
It
Or
should
just
just
call
be-
it Harley Quinn. Just
Yeah,
call it
just
that.
call it Harley
Yeah.
Quinn. Because I don't know
Yeah, that
what
would've
Birds of
been
Prey is. I keep forgetting
Female
about that.
vigilantes. That's all you need. To
It was
know.
a canceled CW show.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was, but
It was.
It's a comic superhero team.
I know.
Establish the roots.
But they are bringing Huntress back for... Anyway, we're off topic. So, yeah, the menus and stuff are so much easier to navigate than Fallout or anything like that. Like, it's just very simple, like, clean, you know, kind of box menus. It kind of reminded me more of, like, Mass Effect.
It's very, very, very simple.
Yeah. And, I mean, you might call that a negative, but... Which I do wish, like, comparing equipment was a little easier.
Yeah.
But on a controller, when you wanted to switch out your weapons, you have 4 weapons that you can switch between at any time. And when I was trying to like switch out one of the slots on controller, I basically had to like make that my active weapon and then hit a button to swap out that first slot with whatever I wanted to switch with. It would only switch out that first slot. Whereas on mouse and keyboard, I could just click what I wanted and drag it into the slot
Yep.
and switch it out. Why can't you do that on a controller? Maybe you can, and I just wasn't doing it right. But I tried for a while. But yeah, there's only like the equipment only has an armor and a helmet slot. That's it, which is kind of weird. But there's also a bunch of modifications you can add to these things, so it does kind of have some more depth in there. But the modifications are one-time use, which kind of sucks. You get plenty of them, but it feels like one of those things where you'll just hoard them until you get your best equipment at the end. And then there's a bunch of consumables and stuff, like various health buffs and like temporary stat boosts and, you know, the usual kind of medicines you get Um, and the obvious like junk shelf, the stuff that you just take to a shop and sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the the usual equipment stuff. But I just wanted to go over real quick like how easy it is to just jump into a menu, swap stuff out, and get out. The item management's nothing in this game, which is good. Once you get into the actual game, I really like the way that it emphasizes you can play any way you want. Because like I'm gonna keep going back to Fallout. At some point, that series became where you can spec like for speech and barter and stuff if you want, but you're going to be screwing yourself over because you got to fight. Like eventually, you have to fight things, and so like no matter how much time you spend crushing it in town, you're going to be ill-equipped to actually do combat. In this game, because of the heavier focus on companions and like alternate ways to do conflicts, it actually makes those kind of non-traditional specs a lot more viable. Because, like, for example, you can have 2 companions at any time, and you can spec yourself in more to controlling them. So, like, sending them out to combat for you and using their special abilities and things like that. Yep. So you don't actually have to fire around if you don't want to. And you can also make it so that, like, enemies run away from you for so many seconds at a time, which gives you the time you need for your companion to kill them. So I actually have it now where enemies run away for 3 seconds whenever they see me.
I love that. I love that. That's a skill. It's like you're so persuasive that people are just like afraid of you.
I think it's actually the intimidate skill in this case.
Yeah. It's part of the same thing though, right? Like intimidation.
Yeah, it is.
Charm.
And that's what I was gonna say. Is like instead of having to individually spec out each skill, you actually everything falls under what, like 6, 7 labels.
There's like 7 labels, and then there's like different like skills under that, so you can spec each skill individually as well as together. So I think that was actually pretty clever of them to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like when you level up, you put points into that entire block instead of each individual skill.
Yeah.
So like you might put points into the, I can't remember what they're called right now, but like the dodge block, and that'll improve both your dodge and your block. Or like the melee block, which improves like your one-handed melee and two-handed melee. And then it's like the ranged block, which is like all the different gun types at once.
Yeah.
And so you only get 10 points at each level, but you can, and like there's a lot more points that you can put in, because everything like goes up a rank every 20 points. But it gives you a lot more versatility because it feels like you're actually like improving a bunch of things at once, which makes sense. Because like if you're going for a charisma build, yeah, you should be able to raise like your your intimidation, your persuasion, and like a barter and a few other things all at once. Those skills are tied together.
Yeah.
Like if you're a person,
if you're a person.
Like if you're a real person, like you don't just focus on one aspect of that. All of it would improve together. Yeah. So it's a much more logical way of building your character.
Yeah.
And it is kind of tricky that it only goes up every 20 points because it feels like you don't really you don't get better except for every 20 points you put into something. There's not really like the fine improvements.
I don't know if there's any like hidden things going on in the background with each point.
Yeah, I can't tell.
I can't tell. But I'm very early. I've only played like an hour, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I assume there's small buffs because it seems like with the guns one, for example, like the more points you put into it, the more like your critical attack goes up, or like your critical hit chance or whatever.
Right.
So I think there are those kind of minute differences too, but you get actual like new abilities and like bonus feats at every 20 points.
Yeah, that's a good name for it.
Yeah. And then also every 2 levels you get a perk. And the perks are a little more basic, like, 50% more health, or like 25% longer time in like this equivalent of the VATS system, which is called TTD.
DDT?
Oh no, TDD, I think.
No, I think you're right, TTD, but I don't remember.
Is it?
Maybe it is TTD.
It's temporal time distortion.
There you go. I know there's something time distortion, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get back to that. But So they're kind of more just like the base things, but you go up ranks in different ones too. So it's like you get so many at the first tier, you go up to the second tier. So maybe they get more, complicated at higher tiers. But I'm only level 4, so I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of systems in this game, but it's cool because like you can really see the differences. Like when you're talking to people, basically every choice you make is tied to a skill. So like Thomas, you said you're doing like a dumb run, right?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do that on stream, but I'm doing
Gotcha.
the same thing that you're doing with the charm stuff. But yeah, it's like I think the first level, at least for like the first people you encounter, it's like 5 skill to do a lie or persuasion.
And I've gotten up to a few now that like even low level I can't complete because like they expect you to have spec'd into that skill to be able to do it.
Okay.
When they're like 5 or 10 or something, you can probably do that without any specking.
Yeah.
Because I think all of your abilities start like in the 5 to 8 range.
Yeah.
But there are some where it's like you will fail if you haven't spec'd into it. And that's really cool. Like your options are limited if you haven't prepared for that situation. Again, that makes sense.
It's real. It's a real RPG.
Yeah, it is. Whereas
That's
like
what I
Fallout
like
4
about
felt
it.
like none of your choices mattered. And like I don't want to go into the details of this story here, but there was one example where like you're supposed to the checkpoint, like the first checkpoint you get directs you straight to a town, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I went around the town and kind of tried to shoot some things and like collect some random stuff and all this, and I found a few things that like were quest items before I had any quests for them, but they were in my key item tab, so I knew that they were for something. And so then I got to town and like ran into this person that like that there was a dialogue option to like turn in the item. And I was like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know what this is actually for yet. I feel like I could do something else with it, but they're asking for it, so I guess I should. And so I gave it up. And then I went to someone else and they were like, hey, if you've got this thing, it'll really help me out. And like then one of the dialogue options was actually, oh, sorry, I already gave it to someone else. And they were like, seriously, dude? Like, what the heck? That would have been, like, why? Why would you do that? And I felt so bad. Like, I didn't even know what it was for, and I failed the quest without even getting it.
I like that that's in there though. It's like
Right, it's really cool.
it makes it feel like you're actually affecting the world.
Yeah, because you can't go back and undo the thing. Like, you already made your choice, even though you didn't know the other options yet.
Right.
And then, like, one of the things that, like, the first thing, like, literally first thing you get to do that we both experience, I'll go ahead and talk about it, because it's not really a spoiler. You run into, like, kind of a military person that's checking your authority. And it's like, what are you doing here? Are you a marauder or whatever? And it's like, pfft. Like, there's a bunch of different options, but, like, the one I chose is basically the, like, man, Marauder's got nothing on me. Like, I bet you couldn't take him out.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And so she was like, well, what? I definitely could. And, like, runs and kills them all for me.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and talk to her. And she's basically like, see? I did it.
I haven't talked to her. I only talked to her when I came out of that ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you can have another encounter with her later, and there's some pretty good choices there, too. But, like, everything feels like there's just very multifaceted.
Also,
in a
like,
really cool
it's
way.
just the writing of these, like, first couple characters that we've run into.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's just funny. Like, it's actual, like, jokes, like, dark humor and stuff.
Because, like, it's not such a gloomy, like, post-apocalyptic atmosphere. So everything's actually really bright and colorful and pretty. Like, it's a beautiful game. And
Yeah.
it's just, like, it's that kind of clean corporate feel. So it's, like, the anti-Fallout almost. But then it still has that same concept of, like, choice-based gameplay and, like, kind of dystopia because, like, no one really likes what they have to do, but then they're stuck doing it to survive.
Yeah, it's like hyper-capitalism, but,
Yeah,
like, more realized compared to Fallout.
right. And there's more people, which is nice, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel so empty.
Yeah.
But the people also are kind of like robots.
Yeah, I haven't talked to too many yet. I just talked to the Gravedigger, and that's where I stopped. Yeah, I was only playing this on very high, and you kept saying this is such a beautiful game. I'm like, yeah, that's all right. It's not like I wouldn't say beautiful, and then I
No,
cranked it up
crank
to
it to
ult.
ultra.
Yeah, and as
Yeah.
soon as I cranked it to ultra, I was like, oh shit, what have I been
Yeah.
missing? I was like, holy shit.
Mine started at very high, and I didn't even try it. I was like, nope, I'm going to ultra. If I can't play it, then I'll drop it down. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very pretty.
Yes,
Just
it
all
is.
the colors and stuff. I saw a thing on Reddit that was like, my experience 10 seconds into the Outer Worlds, and it was like seeing all the landscape, and then going like inside, those big like bushy plants, like the cotton weeds or whatever they're called.
Yep.
It was like going up to one of those and like just getting all up inside it, like the camera, and it like kind of did like a trippy like rainbow effect inside of there.
Oh,
like
shit.
every strand of it is like detailed inside,
Wow.
and you could like literally fill your view with this plant.
That's pretty funny.
And it's like, it's just kind of an example of like they really put detail into this game, and it's cool.
Yeah, man.
But like the first time like you actually get to free roam on the planet, and you're just like looking up at the skybox and like see the landscape out in front of you, and I mean there's a lot of pop in, and like you can tell that it's still like probably a AA game, but the amount of resources they're able to pull in, like the detail in this world, despite it being a smaller budget title, is really impressive.
It actually feels really polished, honestly. Yeah, so I guess I'll just say like what I did at the beginning. Like, the first guy you come across, like the first actual person you can come across, is the guy with the gun, and you can just like there's a bunch of different ways that can play out. But I just told him, give me the gun, I'll go kill the marauders, and I just turned around and shot him in the head, and I lost faction points. So I was like, there's no one here. How do I lose faction? So like that kind of like that bugged me a little bit.
I assume everyone in this game has body cameras. You know what I mean?
Yes, like Doc Brown has a body camera on me, but he's not gonna rat anybody out. But anyways, yeah, the guy that like saves you kind of looks like a Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little manic. There's not a whole lot that I can really say on it because I've only played an hour or so. But like what I've played, I've really enjoyed. And again, the writing, interacting with the ship AI, it's really good. And I just wonder how like these conversations will play out if I play a dumb role, because the only time I've ever done that before was in Neverwinter Nights, and I didn't even know that was like a real option until I played it again on without lowering my intelligence a bit. I was just like, wow, this is weird. Like the writing's all like I was a kid, right? I was like 13 or something at the time. I was like, the writing's really weird. Like why do I talk like an idiot? And then I played it again with average intelligence. I was like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah, I have heard there's like different dialogue options if you're dumb.
Yeah. So.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Combat's pretty easy on my end. Like it feels like I'm just destroying guys, so I might have to bump up the difficulty. I want to try the supernova difficulty, but that's like hardcore. Like once your companions die, they die. You can only sleep at the ship. There's like a bunch of like realistic things attached onto that. So I want to check that out just to see what that's like. But yeah.
What do you think of the TTD? I realized I never came back to it.
I never really used it a whole lot. I don't know. It just seems like they just wanted to throw in VATS in there, and it's just like just a bit more improved with VATS.
Yeah. It's really like it's more like the Fallout 4 VATS, which I didn't like, but they fixed it in a key way, in that like it's more just an aim assist. So like Fallout 4 basically took the same VATS idea of like, you can see the percentage on their body parts and you got to aim for the specific spot and all that, but like they're still coming at you while you're doing it. And in this, it just kind of turned it into like a Max Payne slowdown, where like you can still pinpoint their body parts, and like it does different status effects, like it'll blind them or cripple their their arms or whatever, but it's not like highlighting parts and making you focus specifically.
Yeah, it's free aim VATS pretty much.
Yeah.
I didn't have the gun abilities that like targets the different, like shows a target on each limb, so I haven't experienced that yet. I just got that before going into town, so my next fight I'll have it for sure. So I can tell you a little bit more about that. But it seems like a better VATS.
Yeah. I liked it because like I'm not good at the gunplay, um, and I mean it feels a little loose and like not great anyway. Like it's very much an RPG shooter, you know. It's not the focus, and I actually prefer the melee combat. Like I went through a whole area trying to stealth kill with melee because it makes less noise. And actually got through quite a ways before everyone got alerted, and I had to switch over to guns.
Nice.
But that was more satisfying to me, kind of sneaking up and smacking them out.
For sure.
But like out in the wild, when it's just like enemies coming at you, I tend to use that like when I'm startled by someone shooting me from out of nowhere. I'll click it over to TTD, find out where they are, and get a first headshot in, and then I have time to kind of like hide and get for cover. So I don't really use it as like a strategic, like, oh, I got the drop on him, I'm gonna get a head start. It's more like to collect myself before combat, which I think is useful in a way that it really wasn't in Fallout because everything was frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, like again, I haven't played a whole lot with it yet.
I probably got about 2.5, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah, I've got like
out
an
of it
hour
last night,
Yeah.
and I didn't get a chance to play it today because I just got home like 7:30.
Yeah, I want to play more of it. I want to experience this world. I want to know more.
It's
about
really
it.
cool.
It's really cool. First impressions are, it's great so far.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything else you want to say?
Played more Switch Fit. Still really good, but I can only play it like every few days because it hurts.
Right.
I tried. I actually haven't played as much as I wanted because it's been kind of a long week. And I was, Outer Worlds came out, so that kind of threw off my schedule. But I've been trying to do it like in the time before my wife gets home, like after work. Just get, half an hour, like one or two levels in before I start making dinner and stuff. So I'm not like, full from dinner or like too close to bed or whatever. So it's kind of, it's hard to find the time. But I still really like it. And then real quick, I did some Dead by Daylight with a friend. Again, we were recording for some Halloween stuff that's going to go out next week. And they added the Stranger Things stuff a week or two ago, and I don't have that. Like, you can still run into it, like, from other people. And so we had our first game against the Demogorgon. And that thing looks goofy. Like, they have one rig for, like, every character in the game. And it's kind of just a normal humanoid, because they only have, like, humanoid killers. But the Demogorgon is noticeably not humanoid.
He's a dog, basically, right?
Yeah. So what they did was they took, like, the flower vagina face and, like, the kind of gangly limbs and just put it on a two-legged, like, hunched over frame. And it looks real dumb. Like, the first time he found me, like, I just let him take me because I was like, I gotta get a better look at this thing.
I gotta see how stupid this thing is.
Yeah.
Alright.
But I don't know, it's still a fun game. It's hard for me to play too much of it because it's scary. And I'm not good at it. I tend to be bait so that everyone else can win.
Write that down to remember that when the apocalypse happens. Okay. Save that for later.
Oh, yeah, no.
Control S.
Justin, go look in that warehouse. There might be supplies. All right, guys, let's go. He's gone. It's gone. Let's go.
So Ben, what have you been up to?
Quite a bit actually. I played Dragon Ball FighterZ again for the first time in like 7 months because for some reason Bandai Namco just had like a sale on everything on the eShop, like all their 3D Arena fighters, and I saw that the Fighters Pass Season 2. That's redundant. Fighter Pass 2 for Dragon Ball FighterZ was priced at $12. I'm like, well, fuck, it's not going to get any cheaper than that. So I bought it. Played a lot of new DLC characters. They're fun. Videl is so far my favorite out of the 6. The last one hasn't been released, which is the Broly from the movie that came out this year, which I can't believe that was earlier this year.
Yo, that movie's good, man.
That's what I hear. Even though I hate Dragon Ball, I may have to watch it at some point. So like, but that game, but like the second I started playing the game, I was reminded why I fucking love this game and why I don't play it anymore. Uh,
You just get
it
bodied.
no, not get bodied. I don't care about that.
Okay.
It's the well, I mean, one, it's still a gorgeous as fuck game, even on the Switch. You know, it's insanity and how crazy everything can get. Um, oh my god, I fought this one guy who was just doing like these very cool extended combos. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Um, but then I was reminded why I don't play this game, and that the matchmaking in this game is ass. Like it takes too long to fucking get a match, and it's not just the Switch version; it's every version from what I hear. It's just and netcode's not good. But when you find a match, and you get an opponent, and you're going back and forth, oh my god, I don't get harder than when some idiot tries to super dash at me and I do down two, which is the big uppercut move, and you hear bang, that's that sound effect, and you launch him in the air, and then you do super, and then you DHC into another super. It's like, yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't. Then he'll disconnect, or I won't find another match for 20 minutes, and it's like, why, man? Why Arxis? Why? This game is too good. But it's dope. I love Dragon Ball Fighters. I just wish the online was better. Since we're in a spooky sort of month, it is the month of October. I decided to boot up Super Castlevania 4 on my Switch because I bought the what I love about it though is that I don't know if it was a launch title for the Super Nintendo or like within launch window, but I love how a lot of the visual effects in this game are like, we're on the Super Nintendo now, motherfucker. Look at these rotating backgrounds. Ooh, look at this. Look at multiple sprites on screen. It's like, I just find it so funny. Very cool, because like this one section, which, by the way, I never played this game as a kid. I think I've talked about how like Castlevania just didn't exist for me until 2011. I thought it was a myth for the longest time. Where like, and everybody's probably seen it's one of the more famous like sections of Super Castlevania 4, where you're going down sort of like a cylinder kind of thing, and the background's like rotating while you're on like a platforms that are constantly falling. It's really cool, and I would imagine if in 1991 you played this after playing, say, Castlevania 3 or any of the Castlevanias, and you're playing on the Super Nintendo now, oh my god, it would have been so fucking cool. But the slowdown is ass in that section. It's like, oh my god. That game is dope. I really like Super Castlevania 4. It's not nearly as hard as the other ones as I've played, which I think it's because you're able to control Simon's jump once you jump. Because the previous Castlevanias, once you jump, that's it. Good luck. Hope you land well.
I hate it.
Even though you get used to it, but like Simon's jump is still stiff. Like I never feel like I'm in complete control, but it's better than nothing. Let's see, what else did I play? I got Little Nightmares for free on the Switch because I used all my coins on it because it was $10, and I heard really good things about Little Nightmares. I'll probably try to report back on that next week. But the big thing that I've been playing has been Dragon Quest XI: Echoes of an Elusive Age special.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this game. I adore this game. I have officially met every single party member. I think, at least it's on the box. I don't think there's hidden party members. My favorite character so far is Silvando, who I call basically a cross between, well, not a cross, but rather Antonio Banderas, but if he was really effeminate, like super effeminate, and he's great. He just has this "eau de toi" confidence about him, even though I don't know why I'm getting a French accent, and he's clearly Spanish. Which, by the way, I love that the game basically gives like European, like very stereotypical accents to people. So you get like Spanish with Italian people, then you get obviously the UK and stuff like that. But I love how this game reminds me of like a late 80s, early 90s fantasy movie, but like way better. The plot is very simplistic, doesn't ask you too much. But like I like all the characters, and that to me is the number one thing in RPG. I have to like the people I'm with, because if I don't like the people I'm with, I'm not gonna want to play How Long Your Adventure Is. And the only one who I feel like is getting underserviced is Eric, the thief, who you meet very early on. He's your first party member, and I liked him. He's basically the Luminary's friend, his first friend he meets outside of his hometown, and he's kind of like your support guy. He'll come up to you like, "Hey, you think we should be doing this? Hey, I trust you, man." But like, he doesn't really get much than that. But apparently, this version of the game has like personal side quests for these characters, so hopefully, it'll flesh some things out about him. But I'm gonna get into slight spoiler territory because I kind of have to, because I need to talk about this. The game actually did hit me emotionally this week and twice. I was actually off 4 days this week from work, so I was able to get a lot of Dragon Quest in. So basically, there's a section once you go out to the open sea where you meet a mermaid. So this is spoilers, by the way, if you don't want this particular plot spoiled. It's actually pretty spoilery. So you meet this mermaid.
I'm gonna tune out then.
Yeah, you meet this mermaid, and she basically says that she ran into a man who she met, said he was going to marry her. You go to basically this place called Hawaii. It's basically Hawaii. It's called La La Luna or something like that.
The magical land of Hawaii.
Yeah, it's basically Hawaii, but it's on an island. It's like an inlet. It's really cool, though. Oh, I love the locations of this game. They're so, like, they're not, like, super distinguishable, but I know where I'm always at when I go to them, you know? But, like, you go there, and then you learn that mermaids are considered evil. Or not evil, but they're like a curse because they take men's souls.
They are evil. They're sirens.
Yeah. Well, not this mermaid.
Okay.
So basically you learn the story of this guy who married the chief's daughter. I was trying to say what the actual Hawaiian name was, but I can't remember it right now. And he basically leaves. He becomes so obsessed with this mermaid that he leaves his wife, and he gets banished to the other side of the beach, where it's like there's like nobody there. And then there's another storm that happens where the wife's his ex-wife's new husband dies, and she's so struck with grief she drowns herself. And that husband, that first guy, finds that they're like not their daughter, and basically raises it on his own. So what you learn is that the mermaid has been waiting for this guy to come to her this entire time, to like, we're supposed to be married, and you learn that the reason why he doesn't go is because I got to raise this kid. I can't leave. I have to do this. And so they actually bring up the legend of like that fairy tale of the mermaid, where a mermaid, if she steps on land, if she goes back, if she gets wet again, she dies. And you actually have a choice here. You can basically tell her, hey, the guy you're looking for, he's dead. He's passed away a long time ago. Or you can lie to her, and she can just sit on that rock that you found her, waiting for him. So, to me, how morally fucked up are you? It's not the most game-changing, but like I told her, like I'm the kind of person, like, I gotta tell you, like, he's not around. So she follows you back to the island, or to the inlet, and you see the grave and everything, and she comes on land, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, what are you doing? And then, like, she says goodbye, gets very tearful, and then she commits suicide so she can be with him again. She goes back into the water, and you see her fade into foam, into the ocean. It's like, oh my god. And this is like 2 a.m. I'm playing this. I'm like, I did not want to be crying at 2 a.m. Like, what the fuck? And you fight a big octopus monster, and it was great.
Of course.
Yeah, like that. I did not expect that. I did not expect it at all. I'm like, because like up until that point, it gets a little heavy when you meet Jade, the chick with the long hair. I won't spoil what her story is because that's actual plot stuff. Versus this is kind of just more side stuff. Once you learn what her significance is, and what you learn what the old man is, and like how that's all connected to you, that's kind of heartbreaking. I'm like, oh, that's awful. But I love, and I'll say, I'm quoting sort of a review from Nintendo Wire, where basically, like, Dragon Quest XI isn't an RPG that revolutionizes anything, doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it reminds you why you love RPGs. And having the last 2 big RPGs I played were Octopath Traveler and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where one has an incredibly intricate battle system that's really complicated and kind of hard to understand initially. And then Octopath has its own unique gimmicks and own structure of playing as a cat is very loudly talking. um, uh, Dragon Quest is very simple in its design, and I think it's a great example of that. Simple doesn't always mean bad. Now, the great thing about this is you can customize it to make it not simple. So, like, I'm obviously playing, traditional, you take turns kind of combat, turn based. You can have the character. I think I've talked about this before. Where you can have the characters move around and like basically tell them what to do. Like, okay, this is your kind of vague order what to do. If you want to play it that way, you can play it that way. And now that I'm in sort of the main quest kind of thing, once you meet this particular character, the game up until this point, the game kind of tells you go here, maybe you should go this way. But once you go to this particular point after the mermaid quest, the game's kind of like you got to find those things, go find them. And you're left to basically explore the world. Now, the beautiful part is that, say you're not the kind of person who wants to explore that much, you kind of just want to know where they are, or at least a general idea, because the game won't tell you exactly where they are. There's a character you can talk to who can just like, maybe you should go here. You can just like, well, maybe I'll go into the frozen wastelands and see if this particular item I'm looking for is there. I love the crafting system in this game. I love how side quests are handled in this game. I just love this game. Like, every time I play it, I get joy, and the music is really growing on me. Now that I'm hearing sort of these softer melodies, the more softer stuff, and then of course mixed with the very good battle music, like, yeah, it's not going to tear the firewall down, and chances are you won't remember it outside of the game. That doesn't really matter. What matters is when you're in the game and you feel that moment. That's when it matters. And I love and now that having a full party member, switching out characters to get certain pet powers. I love the grid system, which is sort of how you get not always how you get new spells, because you'll get new spells as you level up. But like, I love how, like, say for example, multiple characters can have multiple weapons, like can carry multiple weapon types. Like, say the Luminary, he can have like regular standard swords, but he can also have broadswords. Dual. He has to hold two hands with them. Say you may not want to take him down that path, but you've already spent a couple of points in there. You go to a church, you spend like 20 coins per point or something, and you can basically get all those points back and put them towards something else. That's up to you. And for me, like, this is how anal I am, but like, I like to have my character, okay, you're going to specialize. This is your weapon. Because I want to play like an old school fantasy adventure where, you have the guy with the sword, you have the guy with the whip, there's no bow and arrow person. That kind of annoys me. You have a wand, you have a spear. Although I did, what's really stupid though, is Jade. Like I said, that main girl, she has a move called Puff Puff, which is basically she uses her sexuality to like stun enemies. Yeah, it's and especially when you learn what she means to you, it's really weird to do that move. But sometimes, listen, honey, you got to go do your dance. Go do your dance. I'll say this right now: if you've never played a JRPG before, or if you've never played Dragon Quest before, play this one. It's perfect. Your mileage may vary ultimately on how you enjoy the simplicity of it all, but it has that old school feeling, but with modern conveniences in the best possible way. And the boss fights are actually pretty challenging if you're not prepared for them. Like, the game may seem like a cakewalk, but if you're not prepared, you're gonna get your ass kicked. I think I may have over leveled though, because I fight everything. Like, anytime I get to an enemy, I pre-counterattack, we fight real quick. So I think I'm slightly over leveled, but it doesn't matter. Oh, best part, you don't have to constantly rotate characters out. Characters in the background will level up alongside your party. Now, I don't know if that's like if they level up lower in comparison, but they level up, and that's all that matters. That's great.
Can't you also switch them out mid-combat?
You can, but it uses a turn.
Oh, that's dumb.
Which isn't too bad, really, as long as you know. It's not too bad. But yeah,
is it like Final Fantasy X, where like if someone dies, you can replace them with someone that's alive?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
I've done that before. It's awesome. Or like you can say if like your whole if they're on the verge of dying, but like say your reserves are in good health, you can switch them all out on the same turn. so you don't have to just do one at a time. And of course, like I love this game. Like it's so wonderful when you're jumping into a new franchise and you never know what to expect, and it might be trepidation at first, but then once you're in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm in this shit. I am in it. Okay, I'll stop talking about Dragon Quest now. That's all I've really played. But yeah, Dragon Quest has. I feel bad because like I have Daemon X Machina, and I said this when it came out. It was a mistake to release that game in September because it got swallowed up by everything else. But I will play that game at some point, and I feel bad for Spyro because the boring first level aside, I wanted to play it more. But Dragon Quest is just consuming me too much. I love this game. Go buy it, please.
I didn't want to interrupt your story, but one, look at my boy. He's so cute.
Yeah, it's hard, very hard to not.
I know.
For all you audio listeners out there, go check the video.
Yeah, there's a cute cat on screen right now. And two, he bit my neck earlier.
Aw.
What a jerk. I'm pretty sure he's a vampire. And so am I now.
The vampire cat.
So big.
Yeah, that's sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to pick that up on sale sometime because I'm busy with other stuff at the moment.
Yeah, my brother's like 50 hours in or something like that, and I'm gonna play it when he's done. So I just gotta wait.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I really like the side quest stuff that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like that's like a signature like great RPG always has a great side quest to it.
Oh yeah, it's super helpful.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't played much else other than just Destiny, and that's on Destiny. The Destiny podcast. I played Outer Worlds, obviously, and I played a little bit of Resident Evil 2, the remake, and that's Resident Evil 2. So
Did you put the goose hack in there?
No, I did not.
Oh, you saw that, right?
I think you posted a picture of that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I forget what I post sometimes.
I can't remember. It has been a while, but I just remember a goose in a very haunted-looking area. So
have the goose. It's the actual game.
So yeah, I'm just in the police station running around. I always wanted to play that game when I was a kid. I never got around to playing it. Just the demo,
scary.
And I always loved it. Like I love playing the demo. I don't like. For some reason, the gun shop isn't in this, or maybe I missed it when I ran by it. I don't know.
I haven't seen any like Let's Plays of it since like February, so
yeah.
when
So I don't know
everybody
what's
was
going
playing
on.
that game.
I'm just trapped in the police department. So
Oh, so Mr. X hasn't shown up yet. Okay.
no, not yet. No.
Oh, he coming.
Oh, that's like the very beginning then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at the very beginning. I'll probably have like 30, 40
I thought you
minutes
like
on it.
went back there at some point, or something. I don't remember.
I play as Leon, so.
X gonna give it to you.
I've only watched play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that.
It's scary and stressful.
But Outer Worlds might just take it over. Because I want to play that.
Oh shit! I played Resident Evil 4. What the fuck am I thinking? Yeah, it's great. It's Resident Evil 4 on the Switch. That's all I need to be said.
There you go. That's all you really need.
That's all you really see. That's all I really need to say.
Oh yeah, I saw your video of the close call with the bell in
Yeah,
the
it
village.
was, yeah. Go check my Twitter feed for that. That was nuts.
Yeah.
By the way, that for RE4 players, go watch that video because that is how you survive that village section. Because I forgot how overwhelming the game just kind of says. And good luck, you're in this shit now.
Oh, there's chainsaw grandmas.
By the way, I learned this my friend told me this. There's another chainsaw dude in that area.
Yeah.
If you try to go, this is for like new players, so that y'all don't get caught. If you go to the gate, if you try to go out to the gate, because that seems like a logical thing to do, there will be another chainsaw guy waiting for you. Now you can kill him for more money, and that's good in the game, but just be wary of that. Just be wary.
Just be wary.
Stranger.
All right, so let's all head on into the news this week. Let's catch up with some Riot stuff. So we'll talk about the Riot's news announcements. I think the most popular news story was that Riot's making a fighting game.
Yeah, the worst kept secret of the past, like 4 years now, when they bought this company. So to give context for that, in 2016, Tom and Tony Cannon, who, if you don't know their names, they were one of the co-founders of Evo. They created Evo, so yeah, and they were also created the netcode, which is called GGPO, which is every fighting game player's favorite form of fighting netcode. Fightcade uses it, Skullgirls uses it, and a lot of modern American-based fighting game companies use it because it is amazing. So yeah, they made a game called Rising Thunder, and then that company got bought out by Riot, and they didn't say what they're working on, but it's like obviously a League of Legends fighting game, and here we are.
Is it actually the League of Legends characters?
I think so. I don't know what a League of Legends character looks like, so I'd assume it would be, considering that's Riot's only asset.
Because there is like project titles, like this is Project L, which makes me think Project, League of Legends fighting.
Yeah, or League Fighters. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I couldn't say. I know League has a diehard fan base, so I'm pretty sure because they only showed a couple of things. It's hard to discern anything. They showed a training room. It has the EX meter. It's surprisingly 1v1. I'm really surprised they're doing that and not like a team based thing like they're known for. It's hard to say anything because they said like it's an early build. Like we're not going to hear about any of this game for.
The only thing it says here is, would it be set in the same universe as League of Legends? The answer is yes.
I mean, that doesn't matter when it comes to a fighting game, but okay.
Well, I'm saying it's probably some of those same characters because that's how they would know.
Yeah. So like a lot of this talk kind of came up with FGC. I'm like, what does this mean?
Is he knocking your shit over again?
Here's my Switch dock.
Oh no!
I have another one. He gets so comfy.
So like a lot of talk has been over like what does this mean that Riot's entering the FGC? Because if you don't know about Riot's esports stuff, is that basically I think you have, in order to play League of Legends professionally or commentate, you have to sign an exclusivity deal, meaning you cannot play other games. You have to play their game, which in the FGC that's kind of like kind of suspect right there. Even though most top players technically only play one game, but just that ability to be able to do so, Capcom doesn't do that with Street Fighter players. Will they let their game be run at Evo? Will they allow something like that? I mean, it's hard not to say. I mean, who knows how much influence Tom and Tony Cannon have on this game? I mean, I understand they're behind it, but again, Riot probably makes the decisions. I don't know. Like I was thinking about this and like, so because it wouldn't work like a lot of their team-based stuff where like, because unless they plan to create like a fighting game league where like it's a set of 5 dudes from different cities will play against another team, because that's what Street Fighter League is doing right now. Capcom's doing right now, so it could be something like that.
Yeah, League of Legends has their own like tournaments and stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't know how they could do that with one fighting game. It's possible they could do it. I mean, like I said, Capcom's doing it, kind of, but it's not like a pro thing. It's not like it's weird.
I guess it depends on how big it gets, because League has its own tournament, and like there's like they have millions of players, right? So
yeah, exactly. So like a lot of questions like, well, will top players from the FGC go play this game if they're offered money? And like I equated to a ACW star in the 90s. Like, look, if that guy ain't cutting you checks, if Paul Heyman's checks are bouncing, fucking go sign with WWF and go play a mediocre fighting game for a few years and get that money, because that money ain't gonna be there in a few years. If they do that, who knows? Maybe they surprise everybody and they let it run at Combo Breaker and CEO and all these other big tournaments, and let be and something non-Riot and have it be open invitational, which that's something they don't do. It's hard to say now. It's just something that's speculative. I hope the game is good. I mean, that's at the end of the day. I just hope that they don't make it too esports where they make it easy. Because that's been the trend with fighting games a lot lately, is that it's dumbing down the mechanics and making it quote unquote easier when it doesn't really do anything. But it's hard to say at this point, considering how it's hard to say. It's just going based off what Riot has done with their only game so far. Maybe that will change with this game, but I'm skeptical. I probably won't play it. I'll probably be still playing Street Fighter. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? But I'll be watching this very closely for sure.
Also, Riot is going to be making a tactical multiplayer, FPS, a management sim, a card game.
Yeah, they're branching the fuck out like crazy.
Apparently, there's mobile versions of League of Legends.
That's
An
not a thing
animated
already.
series.
And they might be bringing it to console.
Oh wow, that's huge.
I don't know. This is a lot going on over there, right?
Yeah, League. I don't. Yeah, I looked it up. Like League is fucking huge.
Oh yeah, it's massive, dude.
It's crazy.
Feels like they might be a little out of their league.
Yeah. I will say I kind of want to see pro League of Legends players try to get in this fighting game just to see them get bodied. Because some of it's not all of them, but some of those guys in their like high esports and because LOL is like high esports, surprisingly, I want to see them get bodied by professional fighting game players and just get like perfected 2 rounds because I know it'll happen. I want to see it happen.
So speaking of new games from new studios, Google is opening up their first Stadia game studio in Montreal.
For the thing that won't exist in 2 years?
Yes. Today, Google announced it would open its first Stadia-focused game studio in Montreal. Blog post from VP, head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, Jade Raymond, which, by the way, created the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah.
So it'll have a lot of climbing.
Yeah, all their games will have a lot of climbing.
And
a bunch of flags
towers,
to collect.
watchtowers.
Yeah.
Or something equivalent to like seeing the whole area. And it'll be laggy because it's on Stadia.
So, jokes aside, this is another thing that just bothers me about Google's strategy because they basically say, hey, we're going to open the studio and we're going to make a bunch of things in it. But our first game, I think we're going to do something smaller. Like, it's going to just be this, the smaller indie game. Like, they have no idea what they're doing yet. They just open the studio and they're like, hey, what should we do with it?
Because
like, it's literally where they're at right now.
They got the money to do that.
So it says, initially we're going to have some interesting indie-style titles we sign, and they might look a little different, or take advantage of a YouTube integration, or have a different role for a streamer.
What?
They have nothing.
Can
Who is heading the studio? Did they say in the article?
I thought it was Jade Raymond.
No, but she's the VP of Head of Stadia Games and Entertainment.
Oh, no, they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just they're opening a studio and they're going to do stuff with it. I put it in here because it's just that stupid idea that Google thinks they know what they're doing. They're like, something's popular, so they have to delve into that market. But they got nothing. Like, look at Amazon. They made a studio like 3 years ago and it's put out 1 game and canceled like 5.
Yeah.
Google's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Apple is like the closest one out of all these that are trying to get into the games industry.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of doing it successfully with their Apple subscription service. Yeah.
But they're buying up exclusives, which Google's doing a little bit of.
Yeah.
But they're mostly just banking on people want to play their existing games on Stadia's cloud service. But then there's all these hoops you have to jump through to do it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. It just feels weird.
Speaking of terrible things, Bethesda is working on fixing Fallout 76 subscription issues. So I actually wanted to just say they announced a service called Fallout First, which would get you access to private servers and
quote unquote private servers.
Well, they are technically.
And what is it, storage?
Yeah,
that was it.
It's unlimited storage and like some free stuff. I mean, quote unquote free, like extra stuff in the game
and like atoms and shit.
Yeah, it's basically what like the season pass of Destiny 2 is now that it's First Light. Where like you get some like experience boosts and things like that if you buy the season pass. But Fallout 76 costs money. But there's also
I bought this game over the summer.
Spend more money. It just feels sleazy at that point.
Almost a year before when the game launched,
Mm-hmm.
and they do this. I'm like, I think I tweeted it out, like, the gall of Bethesda to do this.
And they were finally getting some good press too with
Were
the
they?
like NPCs are coming back update.
Yeah, they had, remember
That's how you
around
know a game's
E3 or
fucked up.
so,
That's
they
your
had a bunch of like new and free updates, and like we checked it out. And we're like, oh yeah, this is pretty fun, but we never went back to it because it's not free. It wasn't free anymore.
Yeah,
That's what they should do. They should just make it free to play. And
they should. And you could argue like Minecraft does this. You know, you pay for servers, but Minecraft is successful, and they didn't do that at first. I'm not. No, that's not the only. But like Minecraft waited years to bring that kind of stuff in.
Yeah, people use like third-party services to get servers going, and so
Right.
they just jumped in with their own servers like later on
Right.
down the line.
Whereas this is like it's the same way where only the owner has to make a private, pay to make a private server, and then everyone can play on it. But it's no Minecraft. That's what I'm saying.
All right, what's the issues with the subscription?
What isn't the issue?
Yeah. So, well, it's more like talking about issues and explaining why they're not necessarily issues. But
Okay.
I love the headline of this originally. Like they changed it because it's IGN and this way they do things. But originally it was Fallout 76 paid subscription service is deleting people's scrap,
Oh shit.
and that was pretty great. But basically, it says that people are thinking that the private worlds are recycled, like old servers, like instances that other people have already played in.
Oh yeah,
So it's like
that's
they're
right.
reselling like other people's servers. And their explanation for that,
It's because wait.
was-
It's because people found that like things like containers were already opened, right?
Yeah.
And stuff was missing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, the way they explained it is that the worlds are on the Amazon Web Services server, because literally everything is on Amazon servers.
Yeah.
And it says players who have seen looted containers upon login may be experiencing expected behavior upon logout and login. Loot is instanced for each player in containers. As Fallout 76 players know, if you loot a container on one server and then log out and log back into another server, the container remains in a looted state for a period of time. So basically, because they've already looted that thing, even though they're in a private server now, that thing doesn't come back. So that's why there's like dead bodies littering the servers and things like that when you're just getting into them.
Jesus.
Still seems weird, but I guess it makes sense. They're trying to say that this massively multiplayer online game is instanced specifically for you, which doesn't work.
There's
Whatever.
been things like that with Minecraft servers before. Like, if you buy a server, sometimes you'll get an old one from someone else, and there's still some like buildings that are in there, but you can just reset that.
Hmm.
I don't know if you can reset it for.
I doubt they
Fallout.
gave you that much control.
Yeah.
You're paying for the convenience, not the access.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so for the scrap box, like the big deal, that appears to be eating players' scrap items when used, Bethesda initially claimed it was a display error. That was their claim. However, Bethesda has since admitted that this is indeed a glitch that appears to be removing players' crafted materials. So basically, they tried to lie at first.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah. A small number of players have in fact experienced a loss of scrap items after placing them into the scrap box and loading into a world. Bethesda says this issue is a top priority and that it is looking to restore the missing items. So yeah, the service you're paying for is deleting your stuff.
Great.
$100 a year, or $12.99 a month.
The price of Netflix
Disney
To-
Plus upcoming.
to play a jank game. Like twice the price of Disney Plus.
Well, I was including like the other stuff, that package deal. But yeah, you're right. For base.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to know who paid, because I found a Twitter account that they were signing up. I want to know, like, I
Some
want to ask,
people-
I'm sure some diehard fans.
like, why? It must be nice to have throwaway cash like that. Can I take it, please?
Most free mobile games get like 90% of the revenue from 1% of the user base.
It's not a free game, though.
No, I know. But I'm saying, like, the people that get this are a very small amount, and they're going to pour the most money into it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If Street Fighter ever pulled something like this, I wouldn't support it. I'd be like, fuck you and your game. Uninstalling that shit. But if it was a Bethesda game, it would try to, like, hack my computer, because that's what a Bethesda thing would do.
But it would just hack it, so every time you boot up your computer, it boots into Skyrim.
And it shows me a picture of Todd Howard. Hey, how you doing?
He's at the beginning of Skyrim.
Mm-hmm. He's in the chariot.
His face is stretched over every texture.
Oh no! Oh, you gave somebody an idea that's gonna be a mod, and it's gonna be featured for Halloween next year.
It's probably already a mod. I've seen the thing of like pizza everywhere and like all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh god.
Yep. I think the best one is Thomas the Train
Oh yeah,
as Dragons.
I like the Macho Man one.
yeah. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You can hear it in the back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. Oh. Okay.
Coming for you.
All right. So let's talk about one shambling company to another. Diablo 4 Blizzard seemingly leaked by art book advertisement. So a Blizzard advertisement in the latest issue of a German gaming magazine, GameStar, has seemingly linked the existence of Diablo 4. Full page advert on page 27, latest issue. Description of the book reads, featuring over 500 artworks from Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4. This book features many noteworthy artworks created for Blizzard Entertainment and iconic action RPG. So they'll probably announce it.
This is an official hard book, or hardback book, by the way. That's due out in November after BlizzCon.
Right.
But the issue that this is leaked from comes out before BlizzCon.
Somebody fucked up in the scheduling department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Or
what that
the
is, yeah.
or the I don't know what the part.
It's
the
always
PR
like a
person.
European game magazine that leaks stuff, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember that mobile that Diablo mobile game that's supposed to come out?
It is coming out. Or
Isn't that out?
I don't. I remember the other thing they showed at BlizzCon, and we haven't heard anything since. Or maybe like minor things, but like I figured it would have been out by now. It's gonna release the day of BlizzCon. Watch.
Probably.
Because they just won another shitstorm along with this China shit.
Yeah. But they're definitely announcing Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. I think that's what I'm saying at this point.
What do you think? What's going to happen at BlizzCon this year?
Oh, people are gonna yell "Free Hong Kong" for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna see people being escorted from the building. You're gonna see "Free Hong Kong" stuff, and you're gonna see cringe questions as usual. Because
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna announce that Diablo 4 has already been released, and
It's a Hong Kong.
No. They're gonna pull out their phones and say, "What? Don't you have phones?" And then activate an AR game that puts Diablo over the audience and says, "You're in Diablo for hating China."
and then Satan comes out and pricks your
say
ass.
that it's a Chinese exclusive.
Oh yeah, that would have been best. Like you get to buy this Chinese knockoff console to play it.
But see, they're pro-China, so they would say that we are the demons.
Ignorant. Yeah, we are the ignorant ones. We are. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've never cared about BlizzCon in my life because I don't play any of the games. I will be watching BlizzCon like a hawk to see who gets thrown out of the building because I know somebody's gonna get thrown out of the building.
It's gonna be Blizzard Entertainment.
Is it? Yeah, it's just
All right.
free Hong Kong.
So let's just talk about some upcoming games that got delayed. We have Last of Us 2 delayed to spring. It's supposed to.
It got scared from Uniclear, and that's my meme. I'm running with it.
Uniclear?
The new anime fighting game is coming out.
Oh.
I tweeted out "Rest in peace, yet Last of Us" because that's coming out the same day, and it gets delayed. I'm right. Suck it. Anime
That's
wins.
such a niche, like.
That's a meme.
Then why did then I listen? I'm going look. They probably delayed their game because they want to polish the shirt. I'm going to take the meme-worthy route and say they were afraid of competition. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it got delayed. It's supposed to be February 21st. Now, I don't think they have a release date. Just
They said
May
May.
29th.
29th.
May 29th.
Which that's when the first game came out, like May 2013, which is
I
kind of
wish
funny.
they just wouldn't have announced the release date. Like, it's been a month, and they delayed it.
Like
So
what
just
happened? They must
don't-
have found something like recent then that caused it to be bad.
Right. Like, don't announce a release date if you're just going to change it a month later.
Yeah.
Something
But then-
happened.
They probably had to because like Sony probably like, hey, we gotta show something. It was
Yeah.
probably from Sony.
But, like, I'm glad they're doing this. I'm always glad there's delays to make something better.
Oh yeah,
It's just,
totally.
it sucks that they announced the release date so recently.
Yeah, just fear the anime.
And along with that, some other games were delayed. With Ubisoft, we have Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters.
Which I'm more disappointed at that one
Me too.
because
Because they said that they're, like, delaying everything to give them more polish and make sure they stand out. Like, the games have more time to breathe.
Yeah.
The Gods and Monsters sounds like it's a totally new thing, so it shouldn't need to breathe with the rest of them.
Yeah, I think this is because like the Division 2, like their Service of Life games aren't doing as well as they thought they would, so
Yeah.
everything kind of got pushed back. Like, fuck, this is why you shouldn't do so many
Mm-hmm.
at once.
Yeah, Ghost Recon didn't need, like, Breakpoint didn't need to be a service game. It could have just been a sequel to,
The first one.
yeah. And it would
Yeah.
have been fine.
They're cannibalizing their own sales by having multiple series that are all games of service.
Yeah, you
Because
can't.
Ubisoft only knows how to make one game.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they just need to make the Ubisoft like where all their games are in one game. That's and charge like $200 for it. Just
Yeah.
do it.
And I thought their Uplay Plus thing is going to be
No,
perform well. Yeah.
I see that getting scrapped, honestly.
probably. I wanted that monster game though. That looked cool.
All right.
Me too.
And we have Death Stranding here. I don't know how to fucking segue into this one, but Death
Yeah, this is
Stranding
the
features
weirdness
Conan
that it is.
O'Brien cameo.
He gives you an otter costume. It's so cute.
Yeah, it is kind of cute.
I haven't seen this yet.
I just want Kojima to mindfuck me already. Like I'm not gonna play. I can't play this game because I'm
Wait,
on
you haven't been
PlayStation.
mindfucked from like the last 6 games he's made?
It's been a while, okay, man. I need my fix.
It actually has been a while.
It's been. I mean, PT was 5 years ago.
Like Metal Gear Solid 5 was a solid game, it just didn't have a lot of
No, it didn't have the
story.
mindfucky moments.
Yeah, it didn't have the story in it.
Didn't have the Metal Gear Solid 2 shit or 3. Not 3 didn't really have mindfucky moments. Not really.
3 was just like a really good James Bond.
Fuck it. Yeah, 2 was the what? 2's the mindfucky moment.
Yeah.
I won't spoil that.
I hadn't seen the otter costume in action yet. It's great.
It
You
lets
just
you
like
swim-
float
and
on
it-
your back down the river.
And it actually does a function, right? It makes you swim better or something like
Yeah.
that? That's actually neat.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
I hope this game is fucking bonkers. Like once you play it. I can't wait to watch Twitch streams on it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's weird.
So moving into rumors section of the podcast, new Batman game title and playable characters leaked.
I hope this is real.
Same here.
This sounds really cool.
So
Because this is the one thing I've wanted since City.
So
Yeah.
it says here, rumors have been swirling for quite some time that WB Games Montreal is hard at work on a new Batman video game. WB Games Montreal Batman game has yet to be officially announced. But the general consensus seems to be that it will be based on the Court of Owls storyline from the comic books. However,
I think that's all but confirmed. The Court of Owls stuff?
Yeah, I think there's like been a lot of talk about that.
That's
yeah,
like
they've
the-
teased enough that like we
Yeah.
pretty much know they're working on it. We just don't know the rest of this.
Yeah.
However, some more details about the game have been revealed by a prominent leaker, including its title as well as a hint to playable characters. According to Sabi, who has accurately leaked many things about the video game industry in the past, has suggested on Twitter that the new Batman game will be called Batman Arkham Legacy. They follow this up with the stuff about the playable family seems to be legit, suggesting that players will be taking control of more than just Batman in the new game. In the comics, the Bat family consists of characters like Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, so maybe they will be featured as playable characters in Arkham Legacy. which the previous games had you play as Robin before and Catwoman. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And there was actually like further down. I think it says that maybe Batman won't even be in it.
That's
Because-
I don't think that's true.
Well,
that's too bold.
the Court of Owls storyline, right, Ben? Like, is after Batman dies, they're trying
No.
to find his
No.
his successor.
No.
No.
Court of Owls is the first court. Like, he goes missing in the storyline. What you're thinking of is a story called that happens afterwards called Batman Endgame, where he and the Joker seemingly die. But that's like 100 Batman stories. Court of Owls is like these like is no, he doesn't die. It has something to do with like the history of Gotham City and the Waynes and basically bats versus owls and how owls are natural predators to bats. And it's I don't want to spoil it because it's actually a really good comic.
But there was like the Batman series or something that had the Court of Owls in it, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Court of Owls are a thing, but Bruce didn't die. Bruce got like fucked up, but he didn't die.
But they were trying to find a new Batman. That's the point.
No, they weren't.
His son took over for a while.
Like back in the No, Dick Grayson took over like 10 years ago, but that was way before Court of Owls. I'm telling you, man, Batman did not die in Court of Owls. He got lost in a labyrinth and was messed up. But actually, the whole issue was like upside down too. Now that I think about it, that was actually badass. But no, he didn't die.
I don't know what I'm. I'll have to look it up. I don't know
He
what I'm thinking
seemingly
of.
dies after a fight with the Joker, like when everything, like in a weird twist of like a very scary Joker story,
Mhm.
and then like Commissioner Gordon becomes Batman, in a Bat robot suit.
That's
but like,
weird.
yeah, it's weird. Gordon got it's really weird. It's interesting, but it's weird. But yeah, no, he didn't die. Not that I remember, but that was like 8 years. Oh my god, that was 8 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, that about check out.
Yeah.
Like when I was hearing about it all. Huh.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, he does not die. But there are some ties to like if they keep it to the comic story, to his family, which I'll keep it at that, like his actual family,
Mhm.
and Gotham City itself.
Sounds cool. Is the point?
Yeah, it's possibly one of the better unique Batman stories you can make a big budget.
Yeah.
Think about.
I like the idea of like having to switch out different Bat people for different missions. Kind of like what they did in Spider-Man, where like you also sometimes play as Miles and Mary Jane, and it helps mix up the mission types.
You kind of got to tease with that with with City, where you got it was only in DLC expansion, but you get to play as Batgirl. I think Red Hood. Yeah,
you
you got
did?
to play as Red. Yeah, you got to play as Batgirl, Red Hood. But they were like side DLC missions, but like you could play as them. And
I just know there's like the challenge missions, like the combat stuff. You played as Nightwing, I think.
I can't vouch. I actually am in the mood to download Arkham Knight again and play through those, play through that stuff. But I know for a fact at least Batgirl was like a story, and like it was like a past when she encountered Joker and Harley Quinn.
Arkham Knight, the main campaign, had stuff with Batwoman and maybe
you
Robin, Nightwing. One of those.
No, you played as Robin for a bit. There's a
You also played as Batwoman.
I don't remember.
Or Catgirl.
Yeah,
Catwoman.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't remember that too much. It's been a while since I played that game, but
Oh,
like,
the Catwoman missions are my favorite.
yeah, I remember that stuff more because I love that stuff. But I know for a fact the DLC stuff, at least Batgirl, and I'm pretty sure Red Hood had one too. I don't know about Nightwing or Robin. They were like a story and an area. It wasn't big like Arkham City or Arkham Knight, but it was a thing. So I've been wanting that since City to play as the other Bat characters and explore the city as Nightwing, as Robin, as Batwoman. Hopefully Batwoman will be in this, and Batgirl. Maybe not.
I think I'd like it more where like you explore the city as Batman or whoever the main character is if he's not in it, and then like it switches to them for missions specifically.
I want to explore the city as who I want to be after a certain point. Like you have to get to them, and then you can like, okay, you can go do this, and then but like say, you have like it'll make you switch. Like okay, now you have to be Batman again for
Like
main
the
story
free roam
progression.
stuff, you could play as the characters you want.
Exactly. Like why not?
I guess that would be closer to like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where you've got the two main characters, and there's certain missions that some of them have to do, but outside of missions, you can be whoever you want.
Right.
Yeah. Let me play as Batwoman, please, and all
That's
her
fair.
redhead glory.
Yeah.
Please let me play as Batwoman. Or I actually hope they put like non-Bat characters like Black Lightning, like some other DC characters in here besides
That's not
Bat.
going to happen.
I mean like
Now
Whatever
you're
Rocksteady's
daydreaming.
working on, they're probably doing like a Justice League thing. But
I mean like there are characters that like are tied to Batman that are not like you would think on the Justice League, like Black Lightning.
yeah, but they wouldn't be
Like,
playable. That's what I'm saying.
no, but like just show up. Like they don't have to be playable. But just show
Yeah, for
up.
sure.
Like with cameos.
That'd be cool.
Like they fight alongside you, and then a mod can make it hack it so you can play as them.
Probably.
There you go. Put Katana in it. That's all I'm asking.
Kitana?
Yeah.
Princess Kitana?
No. There's actually a character from.
No, I know.
Superstar.
I was joking.
The chick with the awesome mask and the
Yeah.
sword that screams.
All right, let's go through some listener questions. We'll talk about this one from last week. Kind of answered it in a Twitter thread. Mike sent us a question after the show ended and asked us,
Mike, the TV.
who would your gaming mascot be for your channel stream?
I thought we did this one.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about it. We just talked about it on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to throw it on the show.
Like when I think of video games, like that's the mascot.
Or
like-
sure. He
Mascot
said for your
that, like,
he said for your
represents you.
channel and your stream, and we kind of talked about this. Justin said 0, and obviously he would say 0 for himself, obviously.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know who I would pick.
And then Mega Man would have to be for our channel because Charge Shot, like obviously.
Yeah.
Who would my gaming mascot be? I don't know, probably just
Random Destiny
some
guy.
random
The
Destiny.
ghost from Destiny.
Yeah.
Actually, you have a ghost. He's over there. So
I have 0.
nice.
You can't
I
see
mean,
my name.
I mean, I'm a fighting game guy. That's my role here. I'd probably is it sexist to say Chun-Li? I mean,
Why would that be
I
sexist?
I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong word, but like, maybe because like I don't like Ryu that much. I could play as him. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say. I'll say Ken. Ken would be my mascot.
Ken's the cool Ryu, anyways.
Yeah. His fire uppercuts. Like, yeah, Ken. Yeah. I love Chun-Li, but like, she's the body pillow.
If Lo was still here, he'd probably say Ken. I don't know. He seems to be
Rest
a
in
fan
peace,
of
Lo.
Ken.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Lo plays Ken in Street Fighter 5 the last time I played.
Yep.
Ken, who doesn't like Ken?
And then also he asked this week, what's our favorite holiday game? I assume he just means like
A
any
game
kind
you
of
play in,
kind of holiday. Like,
I'd imagine like Christmas, because
well,
that's
there's
what,
also like Halloween games as well, right? Like Costume Quest.
yeah, I get that too. But when I saw that question, I'd assume it was like a game like you played during the month of Christmas.
That's what everyone calls like whenever someone says holiday, you just think Christmas, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
just-
because you never call like Halloween a holiday because you don't get the day off. We should,
you
but
should.
you don't.
Yeah.
Especially since it's not a Thursday this year.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like a game about a holiday or if it was like a game you play during the holidays.
I think it's the latter, not the former. I think I did that wrong.
Well, let's just
The
open
first
it
one.
up. Let's just open it up to either or here.
Okay.
So for me, and a lot of this has to do with Justin actually, but Metroid is becoming a holiday game now
For
Oh, I
which
used-
for Christmas.
for the month of December because of Merry Metroid.
Yeah.
I will boot up all of them. Maybe not the
dang it.
Prime.
I forgot about Merry Metroid.
Yeah, I keep that alive in spirit.
Well, because I was gonna I told Thomas last week, I don't really have time to do my Zelda month stuff that I was going to
Right.
do,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna do one Metroid video. But now I feel like I should put that out in December.
You should.
I forgot about that too. I don't know.
Nobody
Yeah.
watches YouTube videos in November, anyways. Or is that
Yeah.
January?
I
But
don't
yeah,
know. My DS videos were put out in November like 2 years ago, and those have done very well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably for holiday travel and shit. But before Justin's influence came onto me, it was probably like A Link to the Past. Like I would play it on Christmas or when I was off from school and just play that game when I could. I loved that game so much.
Okay, so if we're going like games we play during the holidays, I tend to associate like the November December time with either Zelda games or Pokemon games, whatever was out at the time. Because like I remember Link Between Worlds when that came out. Like my brother and I were both home for Thanksgiving, playing through that together. like talking about where we were in the game and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But usually when there's a new Pokemon game, it comes out like mid-November.
Yeah, usually.
So both of those franchises kind of stick to the holiday season with me, just because you have a lot more holidays around that time between Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. There's more time to play those kinds of games.
Yeah.
But if you want a game like the best game based on a holiday, Elf Bowling.
Oh my god.
Mine is Merry Gear. Mine is Merry Gear Solid.
Boo.
It's actually a really funny game.
I've never
fun
heard
Oh
of
wait,
it.
that's real?
Yeah, it's
I've
a real
never
thing.
heard of it.
It's a real thing. It's actually a.
Oh wait, is that like you put in a code and like everything turns into? No, I'm thinking.
No, it's like you play a Santa Claus and like you. Yeah, it's basically Metal Gear, like the old Metal Gear, but you're Santa Claus.
I'm thinking of a cheat code for Banjo Kazooie.
Oh,
I think.
I take it back. Hold on. It's not a Link to the Past. It kind of is, but it isn't. But the one game I play every year, every Christmas. I always wait till Christmas because Link to the Past I can play whenever. It's Nights into Dreams, specifically Christmas nights.
Oh yeah, of course.
That is my one Christmas game.
That's fair.
Just and the music is like I think I got that game for Christmas. I wish I still had the original copy because one Saturn games are super expensive and I would have sold it to somebody so I could have the digital version for cheaper. But yeah, Christmas nights. Mike, if you have a download it on PC, it's like $3. I don't know how you get Christmas nights on the PC version. But my God, or at least listen to music. That's my Christmas music right there.
So for me, when I was a kid, I used to play the Home Alone 2 on SNES during Christmas, and I always just skipped to the last level where you have to climb the Christmas tree. It was a stupid game. I don't.
Probably bullshit hard for no reason.
Yeah, it was. So that's why I had the Game Genie just cheat away. But nowadays, I don't know. I associate Destiny 2 a lot with Halloween.
You mean everything?
There's a lot of spooky stuff. It also came out during the month of October, I believe. So yeah, like my connection with Destiny gets stronger during these during the season.
October 1st hits, Thomas, it's time, and he just he gets a little more powerful.
Pretty much. Yeah, like I don't know. I just play random horror games sometimes during like Resident Evil. I'd boot up a Resident Evil game during Halloween. Can't really think about anything other than like for Christmas these years. I don't really play a whole lot of Christmas games.
Yeah. Not a game. It's a song, but every time when it gets cold out here, what I like to do, especially now because I have YouTube Red, I'll play the snow music, the Snow Peak Ruin music from Twilight Princess, because that to me is the like in terms of like, atmospheric cold music. That's my favorite. Where like I want to feel cold and the music's cold, but it's also pleasant. Oh my god, I love that sound. I love that piece of music so much from Twilight Princess.
A cool part of a game where there's like I guess winter themed stuff was like Final Fantasy Tactics, like the beginning with the snowball fight. It's pretty good.
Tactics Advance, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I love that part. I was just thinking like one of my favorite videos still is like the one I did with Metal Blade like years ago about our favorite wintry scenes.
Yeah,
I miss Metal Blade.
Same.
And because it was kind of like the spooky games thing. We're just like thinking about games in a different way, and I didn't put that scene in that video, and I'm really upset about that.
Oh.
But I did have Snow Peak in there, and I always think of that like around this time of year.
It's
I don't really
music.
like Twilight Princess, but like that area is so cool atmospherically.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
especially when like it's like at least for here, like in the 40s, the winds are kind of howling. I'll just play it in silent in my room and just like listen to it and fall asleep to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dream Delight.
I think we had some good answers this week.
Yeah,
Questions.
go play Nights in the Dream for Christmas, December 25th or 24th rather.
Justin, where can the people find you?
You can find me if you look up Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch/Mixer eventually. I put out another spooky kind of Halloween video last week. That's real good. There's some of my friends in it, and I'm really it's long. You got to bear with it, but I'm happy with it. You gotta you gotta go all out for the holidays.
Ben.
You can find me at twitter.com/smartosigi, where you're probably going to get bombarded with videos and pictures of Dragon Quest, as well as the upcoming physical release of Fancier Dragoon. I'm growing stronger every day we get closer to its unannounced release date. But it's happening. Yeah, that anime, probably a lot of fighting game memes and stuff like that. I need to change my Twitter profile. But yeah.
And there's only like 19 days until Pokemon.
Yes. We're almost in the holidays. Once it hits November 1st, I'm blasting Christmas. I'm blasting Night's music the entire time. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, just take over your store's like PA system.
Oh fuck yeah, I should do that.
My wife went and got a bunch of Christmas decoration stuff today. Not because like it's time to decorate. It's not. Cut that crap out.
Honey, it's October 26th. Calm down.
Right. But she wants to do some crafting because my love for her is strong. She said, I think I want to do a Harry Potter themed Christmas tree. I was like, yep, let's do it.
That's awesome.
You married the right one.
I know. So she's like putting a bunch of like kind of custom ornaments together for the tree as she dances along, very proud of herself.
I can't wait to meet you two.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas. Also, you can email me, thomas@chartshot.com. You can find us here at chartshot.com with audio, video, and written content. And also, you can find us on Spotify, review us on iTunes, all that good stuff. And until then, guys, enjoy your games and have a good night.
Panzer Dragoon!